Welcome back, folks, for our second Sit Down with the Superintendent. I'm Superintendent Aaron Johnson. I have a couple of our spectacular sophomores with us today. I want to turn it over and just give them a chance to introduce themselves. I have with us Emma Francis and Bella Quintero, two leaders in the high school who helped to kickstart fabulous new support for our students. So if you would just start out, tell us a little bit about yourselves, kind of something about you as athletes, and what sports bring to enrich your lives as student athletes.
So my name's Emma Francis, and like you said, I'm a sophomore. I play lacrosse, and I'm also a dancer. Lacrosse has taught me many life lessons that, has made me decide to become an ambassador for Morgan's Message. And then I brought Bella on.
I'm Bella Quintero. I'm also a sophomore, and I play soccer and flag football started last year, which was really nice. I think soccer has taught me that you know what sport is right for you when you've been playing it for your entire life. I used to play basketball, but I quit this year because I wasn't loving it, and it was definitely draining my mental health. So I feel like the right sport teaches you what you truly love.
Well, and that fills my heart because that's what school is for, to explore, to test the waters a little bit, and to really get to know who you are, right, and build your confidence. And that's what this Sit Down with the Superintendent's about, is really, we came up with the idea to talk with people across the district, staff, students, and just get to know people about who they are, the special things that they're doing, and the impact that they have on one another in the community. So with that, you two are leaders within the high school. You saw a program that was somewhere nationally. You investigated that, and you thought, boy, that would be a great idea, a great resource to bring back here to our high school. Can you tell us a little bit more about Morgan's Message and what it is, and then why you chose that to bring that back here to Western Rendequate?
So Morgan's Message is a nonprofit organization for student athletes' mental health. Morgan's Message was named after a girl named Morgan who committed suicide. She was both a lacrosse and soccer player at Duke, and her family started Morgan's Message to show other student athletes that it's okay to not be okay, and their biggest thing is that they want to destroy the stigma around mental health and, make it so we can talk about it more, and that if you're struggling with your sport, that, it's okay to struggle with it, and that sports isn't your whole life.
And it shows athletes that what they're feeling isn't just for themselves. Like, there's other athletes out there who are feeling the same thing. They're going through the same challenges. So there's always a support system for you within all of the athletes.
That's powerful. And you're right, that's something that it's uncomfortable to talk about suicide. But whether you're a student or a student athlete, young people have a lot of pressure on you. I mean, it's crazy now with social media, all the exposure, the pressure that people put on you, the pressures that you put on yourselves. So again, you started talking about that. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the types of challenges that athletes face, maybe some of the things that you haven't mentioned yet, and some of those supports that Morgan's Message can provide to our young people?
Okay. Well, some of the challenges that I could think of are having pressure from family members or from other teammates or from coaches to be the best that you can in your sport every single day that you do it.
Yeah.
And some days you're just not feeling right. Like, it wasn't a good day, so you're not going to perform well. But there's a lot of pressure put on by your coaches to always be perfect.
Another thing, too, is COVID has impacted athletes like crazy. I know, for me, I lost the love of lacrosse for a while, and it took me some time to love it again. And I also know, expectations can be hard for an athlete. Thinking one way of yourself, or having a coach think of you one way, and it doesn't play out that way. I've seen many athletes go into a season thinking that they're going to have a tremendous season and they don't play. And that could be where a lot of that mental health struggle comes in, where they just think they're not good enough. And by them having one bad season, they think that means that their life is over and that there's no point of living anymore.
Wow. I can relate to that. I can remember back in college when there was a time when I wanted to give up a sport for some of those reasons, and I didn't have anybody to turn to. Thankfully, I turned to my parents and was able to have a conversation with them, so I can see what a powerful resource this could be for student athletes. So can you tell us a little bit more about what happens if you are a member, like a student, if they do reach out and need help? What do you do?
So each month we do host meetings, and every meeting will have a different topic, and the meeting isn't supposed to be like you have to talk about your feelings, you have to tell us everything that's going on. It's just meant to be a place where you can go and hang out with other athletes. You can talk about things that are relatable with other athletes, and just, you know, you can get as personal as you want, or you can just sit there and listen and hear what other people have to say. And that can be a great place for like us as ambassadors, or we also have a team of representatives to, you know, acknowledge if someone isn't okay, and we can meet with them and, you know, suggest maybe they go see a school counselor or one of the administrators. By no means are we mental health professionals. We are just, you know, the in-between, not strangers, but, you know, peers who can be helpful and help guide you to like stronger, more capable adults to help with something you're struggling with.
Great. Anything else to add?
Well, at these meetings that we do, like Emma said, athletes don't have to say something every meeting. They can just come and feel the environment out. But also, we will have topics for each meeting, but there will always be a time in the meeting when you can just talk about how you're feeling about anything else. It doesn't have to be about the topic that we decided for each meeting. You can just share how you're feeling, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. You know what I like about that too is thinking back to some of my time with teams is sometimes, I mean, there's a certain level of vulnerability in this, right? And sometimes you don't want to show that vulnerability within your team, right? Mm-hmm. So this gives you some options to have those conversations and seek out those supports. And it's really a community that you guys are building, which is fabulous. I mean, that's the foundation of everything that we do here. It's relationships. So I really appreciate that. So as we close out today, I just want to give you a chance. Can you share with our viewers when the next when the next meeting is, and if there's any final words or anything that you want to show about Morgan's message to just share with our folks?
So our next meeting will be December 6th in room 2079, which most people know is Ms. Barber's room, and it'll be from 3 to 3:30, and we will be discussing anxiety and pressure.
Yeah.
And you have some swag.
We do.
We actually got wallet phone cases thanks to the Morgan's Message merch, I guess. And, you know, hopefully eventually we'll have some Irondequoit swag of our own.
Bracelets, shirts,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you for your leadership. Thank you for seeing a need and really digging in and bringing people together to provide this new support for our students, right? I mean, that's important. We have one another. And you're right. And I think the message that you're sending out that it is okay to not be okay. And we need to talk about that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate having you on today.
Thank you.
We look forward to the next Superintendent Sit-Down.